Hello and welcome back to the next episode in our adventure in the Outer Worlds, playing as Captain Huck Orion, also known as Alex Hawthorne, Captain of the Unreliable. We are well fed and rested, and we're ready to go now to speak to Adelaide, the leader of the deserters who left the local village of Edgewater after their horrific treatment at the hands of the evil corporate overlord Space's Choice. So they are located up here. We've pretty much cleared out the rest of the map. Of course, you know, some of the enemies will have respawned, and that's fine. We can kill them again on the way, but we've, actually cleared and looted all of the containers and everything, which is the most important thing. So it's really just the deserters' hideout that's left, and then also the geothermal power plant, which we will get to in due course. So let's head over now to Adelaide's hideout. Not really a hideout, everyone knows where it is, but her base, the botanical lab, I think it was called, wasn't it? Yeah, botanical lab. So we'll go over there, see what they have in store for us. Don't think there will be any respawned enemies on the way, because I think we did kill them recently enough. But we can keep an eye out in any case. Maybe we'll go down this way. I think we did kill recently all the enemies that were down here behind the geothermal power plant. Yeah, it looks like we did. Cool. I mean, even if we didn't, not a big deal. It's just more XP and more loot. Did I hand in all of the, I did kill all 3 of the marauders and collected the bounties. I couldn't remember, but I did, so that's good. So yeah, it's literally just we have to decide now. We have to deliver Reed's message to Adelaide, and ultimately we'll need to get a, power regulator for our ship by diverting the power somewhere. Let's go up here. I think I did explore up here last time. Oh yes, I definitely did. Oh yeah, that's the Marauder Cave where Dr. Mabel was. Okay, and that's the back entrance to the botanical lab. I think we'll go through the front entrance though. Ow. It's okay. Little broken leg never hurt anyone. We can heal up with Adrena if we really need to. Okay, I think we're good. What is this? I had not looted that before. I think we're alright. Down there, nothing has respawned as far as I can see. And likewise with the marauders over there. Have a look around here. Hello. Some more ammo. What do we have here? Bolter pistol, ambidextrine, some bit cartridges. Nice. Alright, well let's head down to the botanical lab. We have some dead canids on the way.
Move along, stranger. We don't want any trouble.
Well, I'm not going to bring any trouble unless you're going to give me trouble. Then I'll bring trouble. Just going to loot your canids that you've killed. Nice rifle. Grace Ramiro. How's it going?
I don't know you. Whatever you're looking for, it ain't here. Move along.
Really? What's your problem?
Armed strangers wandering into my camp for one. Some of my camp wandering out for another.
Okay. You obviously run a tight ship.
You want to try standing outside in the heat, keeping your sights open for the next Marauder raid? No, I'm sorry. That was unworthy of me. Lady named Zoe went missing some nights ago. Just up and vanished without a trace. Now I'm pacing around wondering if Marauders got to her.
Zoe. That sounds familiar. You could always go looking for her.
I go looking for Zoe, I leave the camp undefended, seeing as I'm the only one of us who knows her way around a gun. Hence my dilemma.
Any idea where she might be hiding?
Vex me. If she told anybody, they ain't telling me. I'd check her room, but I got yelled at for snooping once already.
You snooped around in her room?
Little ways ago. She was always obsessing over her serial dramas. Wanted to see what the fuss was about.
Maybe the Marauders took her away.
Could be. Dangers aplenty out there. No telling why Marauders would steal somebody like Zoe. Got no useful skill as far as I could tell.
How well do you know her?
Well enough to know we never got on. Zoe and Stefan were close. If anybody knows the workings of her mind, he does.
You seem so personable, I can't imagine how you didn't get on with her.
She was lazy and thoughtless, but she's still one of our own.
Okay. Well, is she upbeat? A little strange? Loves Rizzos? Yeah, I met Zoe. She was in a Marauder camp.
Thank the Eternal. Wait, Marauder camp? Is she alright?
You mean in the head, or... She's become one of them, calls herself the Queen of the Marauders.
Queen of the Marauders, huh? That's what comes of watching serials. Rots your gray. If you could bring her home, I'd be obliged. And if you could cross off some Marauders on the way, I'd be much obliged.
I've got questions about Zoe.
I'll tell you what I can.
Okay, I'll change the subject.
What is it?
Unless you've got some more
I'll tell you what
dialogue buried in there.
Well enough to...
Oh, okay, I'll change the subject.
What is...
Alright. Where can I find Adelaide?
Over in the hothouse. Tending crop.
Oh, okay. Great. I'll leave you be. Thanks. So, we have to convince Zoe to come back. I've already taken out all the Marauders, so... Hopefully she, comes along peacefully. Hello? Oh, really?
Okay,
I have to steal it? Well, I'm gonna steal it. Is it stealing if it's abandoned in a place that no one will ever find it? Like, it's not stashed there. It's obviously just... they've forgotten about it. Anyway, let's have a look around. Just explore the space, you know, just explore the space. Become one with the space. And I'm just gonna now steal the things in the space. That is what I'm going to do. I don't think anyone would mind Parvati. This is just liberating goods from people who, you know, aren't treating them with proper respect and attention they deserve. I mean, if they're just leaving things out in the open, unlocked, or behind locks that are really easy to crack, it's, you know, it's hardly my fault if they get taken. Hello? Why is everything... why is it stealing? Everything is stealing. I think I'm okay, no one... don't think anyone spotted me. Hello, Stefan Garcia. How do you do? You've got a lot of random crap here.
You hungry? We got canid ribs, canid flank, canid snout too. Something I can help you with?
Yeah. I'm told one of your numbers gone missing.
You mean Zoe? Yeah, we were pretty close. Not like her to go loping off.
Interesting. What happened on the day Zoe disappeared?
Zoe and I were gonna watch the serials, as is our custom. She never turned up. I looked around, but she was nowhere to be found. You sound like some type of corporate fixer asking all these questions.
Or maybe I am. Was she acting strange before she disappeared?
Can't say I recall Zoe ever acting strange. Well, except for her habit of writing things down on scraps of paper. She called it journaling, but I think it's just plain odd.
Okay. Tell me a bit about her.
Zoe was always obsessed with this cereal. Masked Marketeer. A scion of Byzantium turns to banditry and teaches his marauder companions the wisdom of free market economics. Shame she up and vanished when she did. I had a surprise lined up for her.
Did you? What was that about surprising her?
The other day I got my hands on a genuine copy of the latest Masked Marketeer. I was gonna surprise Zoe with it, but she was gone the next day.
Any chance you can lend me that copy of the Masked Marketeer?
Not much of a chance, no. Mind if I ask why you're interested?
Zoe is living with marauders nearby. I need something to tempt her back to camp.
Zoe's living with marauders? Yeah, that sounds like the sort of sideways, sprat-brained plan Zoe'd come up with. Yeah, it could be you're telling the truth. Or maybe you're trying to wheedle me into relinquishing my only copy of the Masked Marketeer. It's a collector's edition after all.
Is it? Okay. She asked me to do this, said she was angry at you. No, look at my face. Look at my face. Look at this face. Does this look like I give a damn about your show?
Yeah, you're probably right. A true fan would have displayed a gleam in their eye upon hearing the words collector's edition. Here you go. Latest copy of the Masked Marketeer. Tell Zoe we're all waiting on her.
Good stuff. You made the right choice. I've got some more questions about Zoe though.
I'll help if I can.
Actually no, I don't.
Hey, I got time.
There was something else. I want to see what you're selling.
Fresh off the limb, and that includes canid meat.
Okay, so you're selling some of that junk. A lightweight beanie by Spacer's Choice. This lightweight beanie keeps your head snug while letting the heat and odor out. Available only from Spacer's Choice. Okay. And a few mods, some other things. And ooh, hang on, what's this? Fiver. It uses heavy ammo for some heavy damage. Ooh. How much is that? 3,200. I've got 12,000, so I can certainly afford it. It's level 5, 192 damage per second. And it has the Extendo Sight weapon range modification. I am going to buy that, unless I can steal it. Let's see if I can steal it first. And if I can't steal it, then I'll buy it. Do I have any junk to sell you? Just some canid meat, yeah. May as well get rid of that. I will come back for you, sir. Again, assuming I can't steal it. There is stuff here, but I doubt I can access the merchant inventory. I guess Obsidian was smart enough to know you can break games pretty quickly if you let people access the merchant inventory. So I don't think I'll be able to. I think I will have to buy it from him. Which is okay, I can do that, I've got the money. I mean, I'd rather have not had to buy it from him, but if I need to, then I need to. Alright.
Something I can help you with?
Stefan, I want that weapon.
Fresh off the limb, and that includes canid meat.
Please sell me Fiver. Thank you very much. Let's get that equipped. I'll slot it in place of the revolver. Oh, it's got a sight as well. Okay. That might be difficult to use in practice, but anyway, we'll see. See how we go. Let's keep having a look around, I think. Just exploring the space. Oh, hello. Deserter.
If you're hungry, Stefan's got supplies.
I am not hungry at the moment. Okay, this must be Zoe's quarters. There's a bunch of things around here. Let's see. So that's page 22. I want to start at the start. Page 12. Page 18. Alright. So... oh, I'm going to steal that poster. Terror on Monarch with Ruth Bellamy as Halcyon Helen, Spencer Woolrich as Chief of the Savages, featuring real monsters from the doomed world. 12 amazing episodes. Take that, thank you very much. Alright, let's start with her first journal page. Zoe's journal, page 12. So that's it then. No more Edgewater for me. No more cannery. No more jumpsuits and gloves. Yes, ma'ams, and would you like another's? I don't know why I'm writing this down. For posterity's sake. Because I've... Oh, no, that's... Should have read that faster. I don't know why I'm writing this down for posterity's sake, because I've always hated the cannery, and I don't think I'll ever have to look back to this journal many years hence and tell myself, oh wow, I did hate the Vale once, didn't I? Just because I got sick. Everybody gets sick. Well, okay, I got sick and I grabbed a little too much adrenatime. Is that really a crime? I gotta treat myself when I'm sick, don't I? Whatever happened to personal responsibility and surviving by one's own bootstraps? Oh, but you misappropriate one box of adrenatime and suddenly you're committing larceny. Zoe's journal, page 18. Good news, I'm alive, starting to feel a little better too. There's a group of deserters living out in the old botanical labs. They found a way to grow some food, or something that passes for food anyway. Adelaide boiled a pot of something green and leafy and told me to drink it twice a day for my symptoms, I suppose. Tastes atrocious, but I've been feeling better. It's nice to be away from the cannery. The labs have just enough power to run an ether wave, so I've been catching up on my serial dramas. Masked Marketeer, what would I do without you? Go crazy, most likely. Crack up, murder all my neighbors, and run screaming into the hills like some wild marauder. I don't know, that doesn't sound too bad. I could see myself leading a cadre of marauders, a band of bandits. Wait, that doesn't sound right. Band of bandits? What would we call ourselves? The Formidable 14, the 100 Hooligans, featuring Zoe, Bandit Queen. And where was the last one? Page 22. Well, today's the day, Zoe. Today is the day you take your destiny into your own hands. I've been listening to Grace talk about the marauder threat. Bands of wild, free-spirited bandits living in camps out in the hills, warming themselves by the light of barrel fires. Probably mounted the heads of their enemies on spikes as a warning to folk like me, living a life of comfort and ease, free of any rules. I bet they could take the whole region if they were organized. I've been tucking away some of Adelaide's food, and I've got some spare cans of Saltuna. Should last me a couple of weeks if I ration. Got some adrenatime too. Everybody loves adrenatime, even marauders, right? I got odds these marauders will let me throw in with them if I dangle a couple of syringes of adrenatime before their eyes. This is going to be great. Look out, Terra 2. Bandit Queen Zoe's origin story has just begun. I'm going to have a whole gang of marauders at my beck and call. Maybe I can even score some Rizzos. Okay. Alright. So that explains Zoe's departure from the botanical lab.
Keep your wits about you, friend.
Oh, I'm keeping them about me. Is he gone? If he's gone, I'll close that door then. So I can loot with impunity. Any of these interactable? I don't think so. What's in here? Just some lockers and toilets. Okay. We've got everything here. No one else is in this room, are they? Okay, good. So, I think that's Adelaide over there. But I just want to have a snoop around before I speak to her. Doesn't look like she's noticed us. Cool. Tubes. Hello, What's that? A model spaceship. Tucked away in the most unsuspecting little corner. Alright. Let's use this terminal. This must be... oh, it's the Emerald Vale Botanical Lab and Experimental Facility Terminal, but I'm sure Adelaide's using it. Personal files. Okay, we need to hack that. Experimental notes. Open first entry. I'm hereby repurposing this botanical lab from its original conception as a gear in the soulless automaton of the corporate machine. This greenhouse may look impressive, but like all Spacer's Choice products, it is cheap and unreliable. I shall have to make some repairs with my own two hands. This place shall become a nursery. Before it was abandoned, I understand the horticulturalists failed to produce a single viable crop. Something about the soil being too poor. I am determined to find a way. May the Eternal smile upon my endeavours. Okay, and the last entry. Flora are living things, as sensitive to their environment as any breathing, thinking body. I contend that the crops in this region failed because the corporate scientists tending to them are cold, heartless, inhumane people acting on behalf of a sterile and inhumane power. One cannot expect your crops to flush with green and reach for the sky under these conditions. The soil is sour, it's true. I don't know quite how to explain that. I am sure the scienticians will say something about biology or the carbon cycle. But I can conclude, after months of my own experimentation, that the secret to a rich and wholesome garden is love, attention, compassion, and a natural fertilizer bursting with organic materials, just as nature intended. Okay, let's have a look at these personal files. Silent Spring. Interesting. Let's have a look at the first entry here. May the Eternal bless my first endeavour. It's been 2 days since I walked away from life at the Edgewater Cannery. Fortuitously, the old botanical labs are still operational, mostly. The soil's sour. I'll do what I can, but I'm going to need some powerful fertilizer. Tired of having the taste of saltuna lingering on my tongue, day in, day out. I want something fresh, something that grows out of the earth. We found another worker from Edgewater. Ex-worker now. Desertion rates must be climbing. I'm not terribly surprised. Reed's style of management has always been tyrannical. I imagine an exodus is brewing. At any rate, the worker was in a sorry state. Fever, shallow breathing, delirious. Must have been plagued. I set him right with a diet of greens. He was all better in a couple weeks. Physically, spiritually, he's one of our flock now. Interesting. Interesting, interesting, interesting. So, seems like growing food is going well, provided you have the fertilizer. So where is the fertilizer coming from? That is the question. Gold teeth. Hang on a minute. Didn't Eugene have gold teeth? Well, that's a little concerning. That is a little concerning indeed. I think I have a suspicion as to where they're getting their fertilizer from. And it's not pleasant. Alright, we'll have a look around at other parts of town before we go speak to Adelaide. Did I look in here? Pretty sure I did. Yeah.
If you're hungry, Stefan's got supplies.
Thank you. I'm not hungry, but it's good to know that Stefan has my gut covered if I do develop a hunger.
If you're hungry, Stefan's got supplies.
I kind of want to get into wherever you're hiding back there. But I ain't going to be able to do it while you're keeping an eye on things. There's actually quite a few buildings here, more than I thought there would be, to be honest. I can get into there, but probably not. What's this? Hunting rifle. Loads of stuff here to take. I need you to leave though. I mean, could I? Yeah, you haven't seen me. So much stuff hidden, actually, in little corners and nooks and crannies. Okay, I think that's everything up there. Cool, okay. So that's everything up. Oh, cool, I can close this now. Definitely no one around. Let's... I think that was Parvati saying, well done or something. Ooh, and she just appeared out of nowhere. I think that's everything in here. Yeah, it looks like it. Cool. Alright. So that's that building done.
Oh, that's Thomas. He used to follow me around before he left the cannery.
Thomas? I don't see a Thomas. Oh, Thomas, okay.
Where are we headed?
You don't have anything to say about Thomas? Are you dead? He looks like he's sleeping. Yeah, he's sleeping. He's a sleepy boy. Alright, that's everything there. Let's have a look around back, just so I cover all bases. I like that everything is stealing. Like, literally, this stuff is abandoned in spots no one would ever find it. And I'm stealing? Please. If anything, I'm just reallocating resources in an efficient way. Like a true capitalist. Alright, let's have a look in here. This looks pretty empty. Let's close the door. Alright, that's everything there. Just need to look. Oh wow, they've actually... They're successfully growing mock apples. Well, good for them. They must have had a developer who literally just, like, their job was just to go over areas and put loot in obscure places. So that is definitely what has happened. Alright, let's go speak to Mr. Kemp, I guess, or...
Keep your wits about you, friend.
So we've got Adelaide here, that's the front entrance. It's the side entrance. Hey, they have some chickens. Cleared all of them. It's another side entrance.
Keep your wits about you, friend. If you're hungry, Stefan's got supplies.
Stefan's got supplies. Ah, this is new, this little area. Ooh, and there's no door here, so I just have to... Well, that's a lot of apples. I think I just took their entire supply of apples. That they had stored. 23... Oh, the door got blown off. Interesting. These apples are free. Not stealing if it's on the ground, I guess. I don't know.
Keep your wits about you, friend.
Alright, and Thomas is at the workbench there, but let's go inside first. Oh. Hello, hello. What do we have here? A ring. Ah, that's the power regulator, but it's electrified. Ow. We've actually looted so much stuff from here. Wait, did I loot this? Yes. Okay. Okay, nothing here. Don't think there's anything here except mines, potentially. I think I blew them all up, though. Yeah. I think that's pretty clear. Alright, and... earrings.
Heads down.
A pair of stylish earrings. These earrings are for the fashion-conscious consumer. Someone who knows that style means more than just clothing. They come in a pair, because symmetry is a thing. Alright. I think we have now cleared everything. Let's speak to Thomas. I'll have a drink first, because I'm a little bit thirsty. How you doing, Thomas?
Oh, didn't see you there. I was just occupying myself with a little engineering. Whoa, Miss Parvati. Hey, you're, what, how are you? Hi, hello.
Are you, are things safe out here? How are you keeping?
Great, just great. I've been trying to keep stuff running, just like you. Only I'm not so... Wait, they didn't kick you out, did they?
Oh gosh, no, I'm just along with this fella here.
Are you from town? I mean, you don't exactly look like you're from town.
No, I'm just trying to get my ship off the ground.
Never heard it phrased in such a way before. I guess we're all trying to get our ships off the ground, ain't we? Sorry, I just wasn't sure if you were from town or if you were one of us. Something's been chewing at me, you see. Fact is, I've been, well, lying. To everybody here. Camp thinks I'm a mechanical genius, but I couldn't fix a busted chair.
Maybe you should come clean. Why are you telling me this? You're lucky your camp's full of idiots. Well, it's never too late to start learning. I could give you a couple pointers.
I'll take all the help I can get. I set my mind to learning the craft of the engineer, you see. I want to make something of myself. You ever heard of the Young Spacer's Guide to Mechanical Engineering? Comes in a set of 3. If I had my hands on one of those data pads, I could teach myself the ins and outs.
Those are good. My dad kept a copy with him when he was working in the cannery.
I know the old community center kept a copy. Should find another one back in town. If you could find me even one of those pads, I'd be greatly obliged.
Alright. I expect a fair price for my trouble.
I'll pay you for every pad you bring me. If, by some miracle, you can bring me the full set, I'll give you something pretty I've been saving for a lucky day.
Okay. You mentioned 2 pads. What about the third one?
I wish I knew. I wager the town had the full set once upon a time. Where the third's gone, I can't say.
I'll let you know if I find anything.
Would you? I'd be grateful.
I want to ask you something, though.
What's on your mind?
How long have you lived here?
Couple months. This camp's my home. People you see milling about, they're my family. At least I think of them that way. I owe them my life. Would have died in the wilderness if they hadn't chanced upon me, starving and delirious.
What were you doing out in the wilderness?
We all left the cannery for one reason or another. Me? I was let go, mostly on account of my incompetence. I mean, I was incompetent. I couldn't even survive on my own. Grace found me, Adelaide took me in, I've been on my feet ever since.
You weren't incompetent. You just didn't fit the cannery. Not like here. This place had a U-shaped hole, and now it doesn't.
You could stay, you know. Here. I'd be happy to... we could really use... this isn't coming out right. If you want, Adelaide would make a place for you.
He really likes Parvati. Oh, you say you pretended to be an engineer. How have you been getting away with it?
Luck, mostly. Nothing's needed serious repairing yet. Nothing's broken down that we can't just replace with something scavenged from the outskirts. Oh, I can swap out a water filter or charge up a battery and go on pretending I know what I'm doing, but the moment I'm asked to do any real engineering, I'm in trouble.
Well, today's your lucky day, Thomas. I've got one of those data pads you wanted.
No kidding. Really? Well, which one?
Actually, I wanted to ask you something else.
You're really playing with my feelings here.
I do have one for you, but I want to have a look at them first. See if I can interact with them at all. So what have I got here? I've got Captain's ID, the OSI vial, the Kick Me sign. Yeah, I've got Guide to Mechanical Engineering Volume 2. The Young Spacer's Choice Guide to Mechanical Engineering Volume 2. A dense technical primer on mechanical engineering published by Spacer's Choice. This volume describes the process of repairing and dismantling common models of automechanical workers. Right, okay. It's like a weird typewriter looking thing. Geothermal passcode, antique saber. Gold teeth, mostly complete. Ugh. A poster ready to liven up the walls of your ship. The Masked Marketeer, Episode 38, presenting the thrilling series finale of The Masked Marketeer, an Etherwave serial drama in 38 parts. And this volume describes the process of building a computing machine using electrodes and spectrum potatoes. Okay.
Any luck finding one of those manuals?
Yep, today's your lucky day.
No kidding. Really? Well, which one?
I guess I'll give you part 1. I found it in the community center archives.
Look at that! Building a computing machine out of spectrum potatoes, a primer. I'm just glad it survived all these years. I appreciate you going through all that trouble. One data pad's enough to guide me down my newfound path. Just remember, I got something saved for you if you find me all 3.
Well, hold on, I've got more for you.
Well, don't keep me in suspense.
Part 2, found it in the cannery.
Ain't that just ironical? If I'd worked a little longer back at the cannery, I might have found this myself. 2 whole data pads? Be still my beating heart. Oh, almost forgot your payment.
I'll let you know if I find any others.
Sure, I'd be glad to take them off your hands.
I should go. I don't actually know where part 3 is. I guess we'll probably find it in the geothermal power plant, maybe. I feel like I've been very thorough with my exploration, so I doubt we missed it, but if it's not in the geothermal power plant, then I'll just have to look it up, I
Keep your wits
suppose.
about you, friend.
Alright, that's, I think, all the named NPCs we can talk to aside from Adelaide, so let's go have a chat, have a bit of a chin wag with Miss McDevitt. Or actually, I would like to speak to Grace Ramiro just quickly.
What is it?
See if you have anything
I'll tell
to
you what I
say
can.
about the revelations.
Well, enough to...
Okay, you
What
don't
is it?
have anything to say. Because I found out some new information about Zoe. I thought maybe I could report into Grace and she'd have some comments on what I found, but I guess not. Okay, there's a lot of stuff in here, but it's going to be tricky to steal with Adelaide around.
Oh gosh, it's so pretty.
It is very pretty.
Yeah, huh?
Oh, here we go. Thomas seemed very fond of you.
He's just interested in fixing stuff. He always used to follow me around, asking me to explain what I was doing. Like a puppy, kinda.
I've not lately seen a man with a bigger or more obvious crush. The tool he was thinking with was definitely not a wrench. Now, I've not lately seen a man with a bigger or more obvious crush.
I'm just glad he's alive. That he's okay. I mean, when Mr. Thompson said he was fired, we all expected the worst. If he wants to learn about engineering, we should help him get those data pads he wants. I'd like to do that for him.
I noticed you mentioned your dad a lot, but never your mother.
That's on account of how I never met her.
How's that possible?
She was in another division of the Spacer's Choice family. She worked in the Vale a few months, sorting the cannery computers. Her contract said any kids she had, expected or not, belonged to her office from the time of conception. So when I was born, I got sent here.
That's inhuman.
It's sensible. Dad just fixed machines. She did some kind of crazy math, high-level stuff. Better to raise me on his time than hers.
Yeah, okay. If you say so. Hello, Adelaide.
If you're hungry, there's meat turning on the spit outside. If you're bearing illness, find a place to lay your head down and I'll fetch you a poultice.
You have
Whatever
a
your
very
troubles
small
with
mouth.
Edgewater, leave them at the gates and be welcomed here. Any questions, dear?
And just who are you?
Suppose that weighs on who's asking. My flock likes to call me grandmother, on account of my providing hot soup and free advice. You can call me Adelaide, though.
I am not buying the
Excuse
sweet
me,
old lady
Miss
act.
McDevitt? Sorry, it's just... You got such pretty trees in here.
Why, thank you. You're Robert's girl, aren't you? I remember when you were but a sprout. Thomas speaks of you often. Are you staying long? You should try some of my tobaccorn tea. I brew it in an old spittoon, but it's been cleaned.
Is this your greenhouse?
No, dear. The garden belongs to us all. Life is the gift of the universe, and the universe yields its bounty equally, absent of prejudice.
I'm surprised you've managed to grow anything out here.
The soil around the Vale went sour years ago, but I found a way to sweeten it back up.
Did you?
The secret recipe is a little bit of elbow grease, a dash of love, and a heaping pile of special fertilizer.
Looks like you've made a home for yourself out here.
A home for anyone who's ever turned their backs on Edgewater. A home for those of us with nowhere left to go and nothing to lose. So, like the spores of the puffball, cast on the wind and alighting on fresh soil, we put down new roots.
Why did you leave your old home?
It is an unpleasant story, dear. But the short of it is that sometimes one wakes up and realizes the place that was once her home for much of her life has changed. The home in which we spent our lives has left us behind, and so we must move on. And that is as much as I will say on the subject.
Okay. Well, Reed sent me to make peace with you.
Reed Thompson? You here on behalf of that cold-eyed reptile? Let's hear it. What's Reed's idea of peace, then?
Okay. Reed asks you to consider coming back to town. He's willing to make amends. You're living off power that belongs to the town. Come back to the cannery. That's about it. Something about coming back to town or losing power. I wasn't really listening. No, I'll try and mediate effectively here. He wants you to consider coming back to town, and he's willing to make amends.
Make amends? Spare me. Only thing Reed knows how to make is a mess. Like everything else that comes out of Edgewater, that peace offering is canned. I and my own are living just fine out here by ourselves.
Yeah, okay. Alright, well, Reed asked me to divert your power over to him. He mentioned a geothermal plant.
He would do such a thing. The question is, why would you agree to his plans?
Oh, your camp has a power regulator and I need it to repair my ship?
Cannery's got a regulator. You want ship parts, you ought to rip them out of the cannery's guts and leave us be.
Yeah,
If
true.
you're going down to the plant, you should divert power away from Edgewater and toward our end of the grid. Think about it. You'd be liberating an entire town from a lifetime of service to that odious cannery. Seems the sort of thing a hero would do.
Yeah, maybe, but the town is, you know, walled. A hero to you, maybe. What have you got against the town? I'm not looking to get mixed up in your problems, I just want to fix my ship. Oh, I kind of want to say all these things, but yeah, a hero to you.
A hero to the people who matter. To us. To the ones who come around. To the ones you save. Reed will never understand. He has been too long inebriated on the wine of corporate culture. All he sees is productivity, output, profits.
Okay. Let's say I help you. What happens to Edgewater?
Life in Edgewater grinds to a halt. The cannery shuts down, workers desert in droves, and our own little camp grows and thrives.
You think Reed's just trying to spite you?
You bring power to Reed's town and you'll be killing us. Reed knows it. He's counting on it.
Okay. What have you got against the town?
You've seen that miserable excuse for a town with your own lamps. Hollowed out workers laboring their lives away at the cannery, living off whatever scraps Spacer's Choice throws them. You know that's true, don't you, Ms. Holcomb? Your father died of overwork. His heart gave out.
He was tired all the time, sure, but he was old, ma'am, and he raised me all by his lonesome.
Look what they did to this child. Lost her family to the company, and still she defends them.
I don't much like you throwing that in her face to get me on your side.
I'm all right. I ain't so fragile.
That
Not
was
saying you were.
unkind of me. I'm sorry, dear.
But it was manipulative. What do you have against people trying to make a living?
It's not much of a living. Every single person in that town has sold themselves to Spacer's Choice. The company owns them. Body, blood, and bones. You've been there. You've seen it.
Yeah, true.
All anyone ever does is toil over a cannery. They give their lives for some heartless corporation, and then they're tossed into a Spacer's Choice brand cemetery.
I guess you have a point.
So, What do you say? Divert power over to us. Shut down that abominable cannery for good.
I'll consider it.
I trust you will listen to your conscience.
I have a few more questions to ask you though, Adelaide.
Anything else I can do for you?
Yeah, this might sound strange, but I don't know where I am.
That's not strange at all, dear. Few of us truly know where we are. The world can seem like a forest without end, and it is all too easy to lose one's way. But we must remember that being lost is the first step in discovering yourself.
Okay, save the hippy-dippy bullshit. I literally mean I do not know where I am. I could do without the cliches.
No need to be tetchy, dear. I was only trying to help. Are you not feeling well? Ought to lay your head down if you're running fever.
Okay. Well, just getting my bearings. My pod landed not far from here. I was kidnapped by a crazy scientist and shot into space, but thanks for asking. Yeah, I mean, it's true.
That sounds like fever talk, all right. So why am I tempted to believe you? Where did you say you were from?
I didn't say. I arrived here from Earth.
I could do without the mockery. If you don't want to tell me where you're from, that's fine by me.
No, you don't understand. I'm from the Hope.
Is that a new settlement of some kind? I haven't kept news from outside the Veil.
Not exactly. It's a colony ship. You've never met anyone from the Hope? There were thousands on that ship.
Oh dear. I see what's happening. You've been taking Adrena time. That stuff will burn right through your upper story. Leave you raving and babbling. You ought to try some of my purgative tea. Won't cure what ails you, but it will distract you for a spell.
You don't believe me?
Maybe I do. I don't know yet. Growing up, I heard my folks talking about the Hope. Always believed it was just a story we told ourselves to keep our spirits up. Listen, don't you worry about what I think. That's not important. Worry about what the board thinks of you going around talking about lost ships from decades past.
I'm not afraid of the board.
No, but the board may have reason to fear you.
Why? I haven't done anything wrong.
You carry on about coming here from another world, and people will talk. Talk leads to questions. Ask enough questions, and the board comes answering.
Okay, let's talk about something else.
I'm listening.
When we first talked, you assumed I'd come to live here.
I am getting old, you know. These two lamps of mine are not as bright as they once were. Or I might have seen you for what you are.
And what's that?
Remains to be seen. Might be the man that saves the Veil. Might be Reed's personal gun hand.
Save the Veil?
People around here lack the strength to effect change. Or they have the strength, but not the will. You seem to have both.
Why are you telling me all this? I'm just made of sterner stuff. Yeah, no, why are you telling me all this?
A little prattling never hurt anyone, dear. You might even catch a little sense,
You
if you
are
listen close enough.
very
I can't
manipulative.
stop you from conducting your business down at the plant. I just want you to know that if you take our power away, you will have brought an end to our way of life.
You could always continue your way of life back in town.
Not under Reed's watch. He and I would come to blows within a day, and he would never tolerate my tending to a garden. This is my home. It will be my home even if Reed cuts our power. Simple as that.
Reed's making an offer in good faith. You should consider it.
If you think Reed does anything in good faith,
then you are asking to be lied to.
Yeah, I actually agree with you there. But you and Reed obviously have some sort of history.
That's because Reed was my boss. I was the cannery's one and only flavor specialist, you see. Remember that limited run of white chocolate saltuna? That was all me.
Okay. There's obviously more to it than that, though.
My son worked in that cannery. When the plague started coming, he was one of the first to fall sick. We had a store of medicine locked away, but Reed refused to treat him. Said my boy didn't deserve treatment. Said the medicine would have been wasted on him. So I buried my boy in the cemetery, gathered my belongings, and left. That's as much of the story as you need to hear.
Fair enough, but I'm guessing Reed has his own side of that story.
I could not possibly care less if he does. But you're surely welcome to ask him.
Yeah, maybe I will. Maybe I will do that. We've talked enough. Parvati, do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, huh?
Comments? No? Okay. I do have a few more
I'm
things
listening.
to talk to you about, though, Adelaide. I found some gold teeth. You want to tell me what they're for?
Haven't you ever seen a novelty paperweight?
Oh. Come now. Your left eye twitches when you're trying to lie.
Whatever absurd accusations you have churning about in your mind, I assure you I have heard them all.
Reminds me of this guy I heard about. Someone named Eugene. He had gold teeth.
I remember a Eugene. Pleasant enough boy. Whatever happened to him?
I never said anything happened to him. Got you there.
I did nothing wrong. The teeth were harvested from a body that went cold long before my tools ever touched it. Gold does not decompose. The teeth had to be removed. And while I am no licensed dentist, I should think I did a fair job of it.
Interesting. You're using decomposing bodies to fortify the soil and help your crops along.
I cannot tell you how refreshing it is to converse with a rational mind. That's exactly right. Rot is necessary for life. A corpse is bursting with the nutrients a young sapling craves. The crops I grow here are natural, nutritious, healthy. My garden does more than fill the bellies of my flock. It keeps them from falling ill.
You seem pretty calm for someone who just admitted to grinding up corpses for fertilizer.
The Vale's barren. Been that way for years. Soil's been sterile about as long as I can remember.
But you found a way to grow something.
All I did was follow nature's own way. Death is essential to life. When the spirit leaves the body returns to the earth from whence it came. What remains is a carcass moldering neath the soil. Decomposition is a natural process, essential to new life. All life feeds on other life.
You've been quiet, Parvati. Do you ever have an opinion on this? She's using your friends as fertilizer.
Oh, I don't know. If it was me, I'd be glad to volunteer. Keeping others alive, that'd be a beautiful gift to leave. But none of the folk you used had a say. You didn't ask, ma'am. And what about my dad? I talk to his grave every Saturday. Is he even there?
Robert is just where you left him, dear. He died too long ago. By now, he's naught but a skeleton.
I'm glad I didn't eat before talking to you.
Whatever you say, my dear.
Yeah, let's talk about something
I'm
else.
listening.
I think I'll just go.
I'm listening.
Do you have anything else to say? No. Okay. Alright, well, some interesting revelations there.
Something you need?
I guess we'll talk about it later, Parvati. I would like to loot the rest of this place. But, obviously, if Adelaide's standing there, that could be a little tricky.
Okay, gone quiet.
At least was able to take that without her noticing. So that is a series of interesting revelations there. Let's speak to Thomas.
Any luck finding one of those manuals?
I want to ask you
What's
something.
on your mind?
Okay, never mind. Alright, well let's go speak to Stefan and then Grace on the way out. And I'd like to ask Reed
Something I can help you
Thompson
with?
what he thinks about all this.
I'll help if I can.
Okay. How am I doing on my inventory space? 105 out of 120. Not too bad, actually.
What is it?
Actually, what we'll do is we'll fast travel to the landing site. So I need some sleep and some food. And we'll just eat some... where's all the food? Yeah, I'll eat some mock apples. And we'll have some water. And maybe we will leave it there for this episode. In the next episode, we will go and speak to Reed Thompson, see what he thinks about what Adelaide's doing. And then we'll go to the geothermal power plant and clear that area out. So I'll see you all then. As always, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you next time. Take care and have fun.